Hello, it is I, your boy Gomi, and we are back with another UFC pay-per-view. This time we are looking at UFC 313. I think this is a very good card. I'm actually very excited for this card because when I'm watching these cards, I do tape for them for the fighters I'm not super familiar with, and I do tape for fighters that I do watch just because I'm like, hey, let me watch their most recent fights or last couple fights. And I gotta say, this has got to be one of the funnest cards I've taped. And I looked at the card, I'm like, man, this keeps getting better. This is a good card. I really like it. It's one of those more low-key cards, to be perfectly honest with you, but like I like it. Like for a pay-per-view, low-key, you know what I mean. Hopefully you know what I mean. I don't think you know what I mean. Regardless, this is gonna be UFC pay-per-view that I am interested in. I like it a lot, so let's look at it. So first fight on the card. Oh, wow, that's actually really impressive. That was just announced today, if I believe correct. But yes, first fight on the card is going to be Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda. As I just mentioned, short notice fight for, both guys. John Castaneda was supposed to fight last week. I can't for the life of me remember who, to be perfectly honest with you, but he was supposed to fight last week. Who was it? I taped it too. I gotta look it up. I'm gonna look it up because I need to know for my own brain. I forgot. De Silva. Yep. Okay. So yes, he's now going against Chris Gutierrez. Chris Gutierrez is going to be the younger guy. Gutierrez is a super talented fighter. He's got really good power in his kicks, but he has questionable fight IQ, and it can be a little bit wishy-washy depending on the opponent. But guys like a John Castaneda are people he's probably gonna destroy. Plus Castaneda, yes, he was preparing for a fight, but then he had a weight cut, fight didn't happen, and now he had another weight cut. It's a featherweight bout, so not a full 145 or 135, but regardless, yeah, I'm just gonna be leaning towards Gutierrez. Full camp, I'd lean towards Gutierrez slightly, but with like short notice, I'm gonna slightly lean towards him, and I'm gonna pick Gutierrez by TKO just because I like the kicks. I just really think John Castaneda is susceptible to those. I think that's a very valid weapon. Also, I'm just going to have the odds over here just so I don't forget. And then you guys can see the odds with me. Here we go. The most bookies don't have it, but it looks like Bet Rivers has it. Castaneda as a -127 favorite and a +102 underdog for Gutierrez. All right, well, I'm going with the dog. Santos versus Ozzy Diaz. This is a low-level fight that I don't care too much for. Diaz, he has a nice range advantage. He can push a pace, and he's got good pressure overall. Overall, he's the more established dog, if you want to say. I don't really see him withering or wilting, and he can go if it gets dirty. Santos, he's got a good win streak, but like it's against nobodies. Quite frankly, I don't like to throw out the term can crusher when they're like still brand new, being only 10-1 in MMA. He's a can crusher. He's not fought anybody of good note, anybody I'd even say is remotely good for the UFC, and his fight to get into the UFC and the Contender Series, I wasn't super impressed by it. He won, but cool. Ozzy Diaz, on the other hand, he's a Joe Pyfer victim, but many people are, so I don't want to overrate Ozzy Diaz. I really don't want to do that. But yeah, I'm just gonna slightly lean towards him, and I'm gonna pick Ozzy Diaz to get it done by this. Nah, I'm gonna go with Santos. Ozzy Diaz, like, I just can't get out of my head that he's just not that good. I don't know, man. It's a really hard one, but who cares about this fight? I'm gonna be leaning towards Santos, but I'm not betting this, so I don't give a damn. Let's see. Yeah, this is out of order. Where's Ozzy Diaz and Santos? Oh, here they are. Ozzy Diaz +170. Oh, wow. And Santos is going to be -205. Okay, well, I was about to go with the dog and swapped at the last second. Find that funny. Ariat. Marion Santos versus Francis Fire Marshall. Another Santos. Am I gonna go with another Santos? The thing I don't like about Santos is he got the shit beat out by Dan Argueta. Dan Argueta's he's okay. He's okay. But ultimately, Santos got his ass beat by him, and he struggles with pressure wrestlers. But I feel Santos' striking is overall very dangerous. Fire Marshal, I think, is relatively mid. I'm not too impressed with him. I don't like how he went to a decision against Bazooka. That's just he trains with good grapplers now when that was his weakness before. But you still think he needs to overall work on his wrestling. I just don't see Santos wrestling him. He's a kickboxer through and through. No real reach or size advantage on either guy. This is a very, very, very hard 50-50. I'm just going to go with Santos in this one. Not one I really am looking to bet unless it's got some kind of stupid line for either guy, to be honest with you. Wow. 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 I said Santos, and I think Santos will win. But my God, that's a 50-50 mispriced. Wow. Minus 325? Somewhere, some bookies get up to minus 370? Nah. I picked Santos. I picked him. But, oh man, he should not be that big a favorite. Alex Morono versus Carlos Leal. This is a trap fight. Because I'm going to do, like, I won't want to do the same thing I did with Basel Hafez. Basel Hafez looked so good in his fight against Jack Della Maddalena. Yes, double weight cut for Maddalena, but he looked so good that I was like, okay, man, he's going to be a problem once he gets like full camp. He's going to be an absolute problem for the division, and I just highly overrate him, and he was just not that good, honestly. It really sucks. It really, really sucks. I'm not going to do the same. I don't want to do the same thing with Carlos Leal, but also you guys know I'm not high on Alex Morono. Alex Morono, he's slow. He just seems like he doesn't give a shit anymore. He had some good power back in the day, and his footwork had been decent, but like all that's just kind of thrown out the window. I don't know. The fact that he didn't knock out Nico Price, it's hard to say about him, but I don't want to overrate Carlos Leal. But I think Carlos Leal is decent. He looked really good in his fight against Renat Fakhretdinov. I don't like throwing out the term robbery very often unless it's Jones versus Reyes or Kai Kara France versus Amir Elbazi. Those are like big robberies. Ultimately, with this fight, I think Leal, I think he lost to Renat Fakhretdinov, but it was an extremely close fight that could see it goes either way. Regardless, from the skill set we saw there, he should beat the shit out of Morono. From what we saw in that fight, he should beat the shit out of Morono. But again, it was a short notice replacement fight where he was a heavy underdog. He looked really good. We see how those turn out. They turn out where the next guy, his next fight, he looks awful. Maybe it's because it was short. Maybe because the opponent that was established already wasn't prepared for the short notice guy and that screwed him up. Maybe. Who knows? Either way, I'm going to go with Carlos Leal. I'm going to go with him by decision. Odds-wise. Oh my God! Piss right off! Minus 700! Yes, Maria. Yes, Maria. Minus 700. I'm not putting minus 700 in Carlos Leal. Fuck right off with that. But I'm also not betting Alex Morono, so fuck that fight. Oh, that actually upset me. I tried not to swear before the 10-minute mark, but who cares? I have any sponsors anyways. God, that pissed me off. Bruno Ferreira versus Armin Petrosyan. Ooh, this is a really good fight. Bruno Ferreira is a reckless, wild man with power, and all it takes is one. He can gas out, and I don't like him in the spot that much because he gassed out against Abus Magomed. Losing to Abus isn't a big problem because he is powerful, talented striker, but he gassed out to him. But ultimately in this fight, all he needs is one. Armin Petrosyan is coming off a knockout of the year contender where he got knocked out brutally with the double spinning back fist. Yeah. Armin Petrosyan struggles heavily with wrestlers. Bruno Ferreira, if he wrestles, he can have massive success, but he doesn't do that. I doubt he's going to wrestle. Armin Petrosyan, otherwise, is just a pretty kickboxer. And the thing with them, I always say, is they need to be perfect for 25 to 15 minutes. Armin Petrosyan needs to be perfect for 15 minutes. Bruno Ferreira needs one shot. I really can't pick the guy who needs to be perfect the whole time unless I know damn well he can. And coming off a brutal knockout, and also like not that long ago. How long ago was that fight? He got knocked out by shot a bullet. It was only a couple months. It was only like a month ago, was it not? Jesus Christ, it was back in October. It's March. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? But yes. Yeah, I'm gonna be going with Bruno Ferreira by TKO, but I picture he's probably gonna be a big dog. No, plus 130, minus 155 for Armin. It looks like he's climbing up actually too. I'll take it. And that is one I'd like to bet on. Next fight is going to be Joshua Van versus Ray Tsuruya. Two young guys, much younger than me. This is very rare. A lot of the UFC fighters nowadays are actually in my age bracket where I either could have went to high school with them or just slightly older than me, like Islam Makhachev, or people I could have went to school with, like I said, like a Max Holloway, Ilia Topuria, where they're pretty young. This is the first one I can think of where both fighters are way younger than me. Like I will not went to high school or middle school with these guys. They're not in my age bracket at all. Regardless, enough talk about their age. We don't give a damn about that. This should be a very fun fight. Joshua Van, I really like him. He only really has fun fights. I know he got knocked out by a fluky kind of knockout by Charles Johnson, but not really fluky, but just a good shot. But overall, in his time in the UFC, he's been insane. He has insane pace, pressure, and his body work. I always mention his body work is so crispy. He's got such crispy body work. His only issues, he's a slow starter, and his grappling was not the best early on in his career. I believe he's worked on it heavily now, and he has pretty solid takedown defense. Ray Tsuruya, on the other hand, is going to be a sub or bust. His striking's not that good. He can struggle with pace and pressure and gas out. He does gas out later, but his grappling is really good. He's extremely dangerous at the beginning, but grappling is really all he has. It's both opposite. Van is weak at the start, Tsuruya is strong at the start. Tsuruya weak at the end, Josh Van ends with 80-piece combinations in the third round. If Van survives past the first round, easily him. If it's a finish early, it's Tsuruya. In fact, I'm going to lean towards if it's a finish, he'll beat Tsuruya in general. But the main thing too is Tsuruya, I feel like his level of competition isn't all that because he's one of the road to UFC guys. And so far, they've all been almost all of them have been busts. The road to UFC guys have been so disappointing. I don't get it because their fights are so good. I've watched a few of the road to UFC like cards, and they're so good. And they come to UFC in their ass. So yeah, I'm gonna go Joshua Van. I'm gonna go by decision. Where's this fight? Oh, there it is. Ray Tsuruya is plus 160. Van is minus 192. So I went with the favorite, of course. Now then, for a very weird one, Curtis Blaydes, the man who just fought for the UFC heavyweight title, is now on the prelims against Rizvan Kuniev. Yeah, weird. Blaydes is the reason for this fight and why it's placed on the card. First reason why it's on this card is because Blaydes historically has been a very boring fighter. He's had some exciting fights here and there, but like, nah. Why this fight's even happening? This guy who's fought in the Contender Series is an absolutely nobody, and he's going up against the ranked 5th heavyweight in the world. He's ranked 5th, right? Ooh, I'll open 2 of those tabs. Yeah, the ranked 5th heavyweight in the world. It's actually very funny why this is happening. The reason why this is happening is I'm probably going to have to pull up like Tapology or something to show you this. It's better to just show it to you, honestly. Ooh, yep, there we go. One sec, here we go. Oh, I can't do that. Hold up. Hold up. The reason why is because of this. Besides, okay, yeah, he popped for roids, but he won this fight. Who is Renan Ferreira, you may ask? Renan Ferreira is the last guy who got beat by Francis Ngannou. So, what they want to basically do, Dana White and them, is they want to further discredit Francis Ngannou, and they want this guy, Curtis Blaydes, who's not the greatest. He lost to Francis. He's lost quite a few fights recently. They want him to just destroy this Rizvan Kuniev and be like, look, the guy who beat the guy Francis beat, guy's ass beat. He's not that the guy who beat the guy that Francis they just want to discredit Francis Ngannou. I saw a post on Reddit about it. It makes perfect sense. Otherwise, there's no reason this fight should be happening. But believe it or not, I'm actually going to go Rizvan Kuniev because I think Blaydes is chinny. He's been knocked out all 5 of his losses. He got brutally knocked out his last fight. And this guy, he has the biggest weapon against Curtis Blaydes. A straight shot down the middle and uppercuts. Straight shot down the middle and uppercuts. You like throw some hooks or you try to grapple him, he's going to be decent. But if you just throw an uppercut or a shot down the middle, which Rizvan hits his best shot, I think he could knock out Blaydes. It's heavyweight, and I think Blaydes, one of my main criticisms of him has been his fight IQ is pretty ass. He's deceptively long for the vision, and a lot of people struggle with distance striking. Like even Tom Aspel mentioned, he was way longer. His jab was getting to him more. I could see Blaydes piecing apart Kuniev with his jab and knocking him out. Make no mistake, absolutely Blaydes can win this, and I think he really should be a heavy favorite. But I'm gonna take the gamble on Kuniev. I could just see it. I just have a feeling. I don't know. It's more so a feeling. I wouldn't really bet on it unless the odds are absolutely crazy. But even, no, I wouldn't bet on this all. But I just have a crazy feeling. Kuniev, yep, plus 250. Blaydes, minus 310. That makes sense. I thought Blaydes would be bigger of a favorite, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm just going to go with Kuniev. I just have a feeling. Watch a hit. And now on to the main card. And this is the first fight I have slides on. I don't have slides on the next 2 fights because I don't think they're high level enough. I don't know why this fight is opening up the main card, but it is, and it's a fucking fantastic fight. King Bobby Green is going to be taking on Marcio Ruffy. Damn it, I just pronounced it. I suck with these Brazilian names. Ruffy, the fighting nerd dude. Yeah, he's from the Fight Nerds. This is going to be a lightweight matchup. King Green's going to be 38 years old, 32 wins, 16 losses, 11 knockouts, 9 submissions, 5'10" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 71-inch reach, disadvantage, a 1.23 takedown average, 55.29% significant strike accuracy, plus 350 underdog. Significant wins over Jim Miller, Grant Dawson, Tony Ferguson, and Nazar Haqparas, which that win is aged magnificently well. Mauricio Ruffy is going to be 28 years old, 11 wins, 1 loss, 10 knockouts, no submissions, 5'11" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 75-inch reach advantage, no takedown average data available. It was not available from what I pull it from. A 60.29% significant strike accuracy, minus 455 favorite. I didn't align the boxes either. God damn it, that's annoying me. And he has significance over James Lion Top and Jamie Malarkey. Yeah, you looked at that KO ratio, by the way, right? He has only 1 decision, which against Lion Top. Now, I think we're overrating Ruffy. I think he's very good. He's very talented, as are all the fighting nerds. I actually think Barallo, even though he's the highest ranked one, I think he's low-key the worst one, to be honest with you. But as it stands right now, yeah, I'm not really looking to pick against the fighting nerds. They're all extremely good. They have so much momentum. They just absolutely destroy people. And I really think that the fighting nerds are just taking over, to be honest with you. I like Marcio Ruffy, and they say he's the best fighting nerd. I disagree. I think Silva and Prates are better, and I lean towards probably one of those two as being the best. But Ruffy's dangerous, he's chaotic, and he's powerful, and he's also extremely accurate and technical. Bobby Green is always going to be a slick striker. He always is, but the main problem with Bobby Green is he's old, and he's been chinned quite a few times. Before Green, it was like, had an iron chin. I'm like, oh, nobody is knocking this guy out. And then Dober knocked him out. Islam knocked him out. And then the Turner knockout is the one where I'm like, I just really in my heart can't pick Green anymore after the Turner one. That's what heavily influenced my pick of him at UFC 300 over Jim Miller, was just because it's like, I could have saw him just getting chinned. By the way, I would have won a fat ass parlay, like literally a plus like 1300 had Miller beat Bobby Green, by the way. But yeah, I can't pick Green anymore. I know it's weird saying that, but I can't. And even if that wasn't the case, I'd be picking Ruffy. But the main thing where I'm getting with this is the odds are fucking ridiculous. Minus 455. Nah. We need to see a little bit more of Ruffy. Granted, I get Lion Top was extremely durable, hence why I didn't finish him. But the main problem is he was goofing around too much. Silva does that a lot, but when he needs to lock in, he locks in. Ruffy, we haven't seen enough of him to say, okay, it's just a thing he locks in. But yeah, I don't know. I could see a world where Green wins this fight, but I think it's low. I just think the odds are ridiculous. I really think the odds need to be more closer. I could see Ruffy as a minus 200, but plus 350. We're heavily underrating King Green. The main thing with this is I feel the more dynamic striking will lead Ruffy to get a knockout. But if the fight goes long, Green's cardio, his slick boxing, and his slick head movement can pose problems, and I can see him picking a decision, but I don't see him knocking out Ruffy, and I don't see Ruffy really going to the distance with him, so it's a weird one. But Ruffy TKO is going to be my pick. And we're going back to this because I'm not making slides for these next fights. Amanda Lemos versus Jesus Christ, Lucindo. I literally just butchered her name in my brain. I'm not doing it. I just watched their fucking fights too. But yes, Amanda Lemos, she's tough, she's durable, and I'll be honest with you, she's one of the best strikers in women's MMA, but her grappling is suspect. Getting standing choked by Jessica Andrade. I mean, it's just Andrade, but still, and then she got subbed by Jandroba, and she was absolutely murdered by Zhang. Like, I just think we've seen her ceiling, but I think she still is dangerous at all points for Lucindo. And Lucindo, I think as well too, we've kind of seen her ceiling. This is a really hard one, to be honest with you. I'm probably just gonna go with Lucindo just because she has more momentum on her over a Lemos who fought for the belt, failed, and has been doing good here, good there, bad here, bad there. So I'm gonna go Lucindo. Odds wise, weird. Minus 148 for Lucindo, plus 124 for Lemos. That makes sense. Lucindo decision, by the way. All right, Jalen Turner versus Ignacio Bahamondes. This is a good fight. Ignacio is a guy I'm pretty high on. Turner is a guy that I now absolutely hate because Jesus Christ, he's lost me so much money. But I think ultimately this is going to be a fun fight. Jalen Turner, I just can't get that out of my head that, God, getting knocked out, being Renato Moicano's first knockout. But Moicano has worked on his ground and pound, but the main thing is he had him dead to rights and he made a dumb move. But then again, he did blitz out Bobby Green with some vicious new ground and pound. I don't know. Turner's a guy who just kind of wishy-washy. The main thing with him is I feel his fight IQ completely dissipates when pressure's put on him, and he kind of withers a little bit. We saw in the Dan Hooker fight for a majority of it, he just kind of withered. Like the whole third round, he just like let slip away. By the way, again, I stand one more time to reiterate, taping for this card was so good. I got to see Hooker versus Turner, which was a great fight. Fiziev versus Gaethje 1 was great to watch. Like, this is a fun card. Like if you want to watch like fights back of fighters, this is like a playlist of these guys is really good actually. But regardless, Ignacio Bahamondes is a very dangerous striker, and the main thing that I really like for Bahamondes in this matchup, besides the age and momentum, is that he is one of the few guys who Turner can't bully in terms of height. And the one other guy we saw match his height was Hooker, who beat the piss out of him. Bahamondes is more of a dog too. He is absolutely a dog. If Turner starts, like, if Turner doesn't starch him, which I don't see him starching him because Bahamondes is a great chin, if the fight goes on, Bahamondes will start pouring on him. He will not be withering, he'll not be wilting, and Turner does. I really think Bahamondes will put it on him, and I think he'll get a late finish, to be honest with you, or a decision. Turner, like I said, is always going to be dangerous, and the submission or knockout is always there. It's just that I'm really banking on the toughness of Bahamondes and Turner not being as tough in the later rounds. So Bahamondes TKO is my loose pick. Odds wise are perfect. That is an absolutely perfect pick 'em. I could see a world where Turner wins just being the savvy veteran. He's been in there, somewhat, but he's been in the UFC longer, and he's fought against higher level guys in UFC than a Bahamondes. Odds wise, yep, minus 115 for Bahamondes and minus 105 for Turner. Basically a pick 'em. That makes sense. Gaethje versus Fiziev. I've of course got slides for this one. Gaethje versus Fiziev 2. Lightweight matchup. Justin Gaethje is going to be 36 years old, 25-5, 20 knockouts, 1 submission, 5'11" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 70-inch reach disadvantage, a 0.11 takedown average. God, that's funny. A 59.58% significant strike accuracy, plus 120 underdog. Interesting. Significance over Dustin Poirier. Oh, who's that? Rafael Fiziev. Huh. Michael Chandler and Tony Ferguson. Rafael Fiziev, is going to be 31 years old, 12 wins, 3 losses, 8 knockouts, 1 submission. He is 5'8" in terms of height, switch stance, 71.5 reach disadvantage, a 0.29 takedown average, a 53.21% significant strike accuracy, minus 140 favorite. Significant wins over RDA, Brad Riddell, King Green, and Renato Moicano. Bro, I got a question for you guys. Why the hell is Gaethje an underdog? He won against Fiziev. They fought not long ago, 2 years ago, and Gaethje won. Regardless, we're banking on the fact that Gaethje didn't get brutally KO'd. He's older now, 36, but I don't think that's indicative of it. Max Holloway was just that damn good and landed too many damn good shots. I just don't think Gaethje's chin is ever going to be fully shot, but at one point he's going to conserve his brain cells. Because we've seen Gaethje brutally knocked out before. He's been brutally knocked out multiple times, and he comes back stronger. Granted, that's when he was younger, so it's hard to say. But the main thing is, Fiziev is coming off a pretty big injury that he was out for 2 years, basically. And on short notice. Those two things stacked up are way worse than a Gaethje who got brutally knocked out but took a year off to recover. And the thing is, Fiziev's best weapon in the second fight was his kicks. His shots were landing, but Jason Gaethje was having his Homer Simpson defense. But his main thing was his kicks were amazing. He was landing beautiful kicks to the body, to the gut, all over the place. And I think they're going to dissipate because that was the thing he needed. Like, he got injured in the Gamrot fight. So, I don't know. Short notice as well, too. I'm going to lean towards Justin Gaethje again. And I'm very shocked at the odds. I'm very shocked at that. When I looked at it too, like I looked at the odds for this one a little bit earlier due to a Facebook post, they were even worse. And Gaethje was plus 200. That I freaking wish I bet on that. Because, like, I don't think Gaethje's done yet. Gaethje's boxing combinations and his uppercuts and clinch strike work is just better than Fiziev. Despite Fiziev being a Muay Thai instructor for Tiger Muay Thai, I thought Gaethje had the better clinch work. I really did. Fiziev is dangerous at all points. I could see a world of Fiziev just chins Gaethje and knocked him out. I think it should be close to a pick'em, but I really think Gaethje should be the favorite. I would be more fine if the odds were exactly reversed, but oh well, that's dog money for Gaethje, and I will take that up. And on to the main event. Oh, Yes, by the way, Gaethje, I'm going to take Gaethje decision. And on to the main event of the evening, Alex Pereira versus Big Onk Magomed Ankalaev. Light heavyweight title fight. Pereira is going to be 37 years old. That's out of my age bracket. Is he? Yeah, no, yeah, he's pushing 40. I'm pushing 30. He has 12 wins, 2 losses, 10 knockouts, no submissions, 6'4" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 79-inch reach advantage, a 0.14 takedown average, a 68.30% significant strike accuracy, 62.24%. Wait. Oh my god, my brain gave out for a second. Minus 120 underdog after looking at Pereira. Jesus. Significant wins over Khalil Roundtree Jr., Yuri Prohaska twice, Jamal Hill, and Israel Adesanya 3 times or once. Depends. I'm not going to take the kickboxing fights into account, so he beat him once. Big Onk is going to be 32 years old, 20 wins, 1 loss, 11 knockouts, 0 submissions, 6'3" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 75-inch reach disadvantage, a 0.92 takedown average, a 62.24% significant strike accuracy, minus 120 even odds. Significant wins over Alexander Rakic, Johnny Walker, Anthony Smith, and Dago Santos. Why do we keep thinking Magomed is a grappler? Magomed has 11 knockouts, and one of them was ground and pound against Smith. No submissions. He doesn't shoot takedowns. We keep thinking Magomed is some kind of big grappler. Not we. A lot of people keep saying that. Like, oh, he's going to submit him easy. He's going to take him down, control him. He's going to destroy. No. If Magomed Ankalaev wins, it's by counter-striking. But for him to do that, we have to say he's on the level of striker that an Israel Adesanya is. I think Magomed Ankalaev is a talented striker for light heavyweight, but I don't think he's on that level, and I don't think he's going to be as good as Alex Pereira in terms of overall striking, to be perfectly honest with you. I think he'll mix in the wrestling and take him down. The main thing I've really noticed with Alex Pereira, taping his fights, is he is actually a slow starter. The only time he was a fast starter was actually in the second Jamal Hill fight and the second Israel Adesanya fight. He lost the Izzy fight. I think Alex is a slow starter. He kind of downloads data, but when he builds badly. And when he gets in the zone, he gets in the zone. I could see Magomed Ankalaev picking up the first couple rounds, but then it's just again, Magomed has to be perfect for 25 minutes. Alex Pereira needs one and done. Yes, Magomed can knock him out. It's not complete until bust. He doesn't need to be he needs to land the perfect shot, honestly, but I can absolutely see a world in which just Alex Pereira loses the first couple rounds. Maybe he gets taken down, controlled a little bit, because he has been taken down and controlled by Jan, by Yidi, by Izzy. But again, did any of them beat him by grappling or submissions? Yes, none of them are the level grappler that Magomed is, but Magomed's not significantly better. This is not like an Islam Makhachev. This is not like a Khabib. This is not like a Umar. This is not like any of those other grapplers. Like, he is a Russian kickboxer. He's a pretty kickboxer and a counter striker. Alex Pereira eats those up. Simple as that. If this is a kickboxing match, he eats them up, and Magomed isn't as good a grappler as y'all think. He heavily outgrappled a Jan Blachowicz, but that was after Jan Blachowicz destroyed him. He had to completely revert his game plan to be a grappling game plan. Even then, he couldn't finish Jan Blachowicz. I just really think that Alex Pereira's got this one. I know I've picked against Pereira quite a bit in the past. Did I pick against him last? No. I picked against him with Hill. That was stupid. I picked against him with both Yuri fights, but that's because I'm Yuri simp. I learned my lesson with Roundtree, even though I'm a Roundtree simp-ish, simp light. I did pick Alex to win the fight, and I did pick Alex to beat Izzy in the second fight, funny enough. Either way, I'm going to be picking Alex in this one. Magomed is dangerous. Don't count him out, but don't think he's going to out-grapple him or significantly win there. If Magomed wins, it's going to be in the striking, and it's going to be a beautiful counter shot a la Izzy versus Alex too, which he can do. Alex does get overzealous when he finds guys hurt, and he does drop his defense. And I have always said, Alex Pereira's defense is not great. Yuri Prohaska in the first fight and Khalil Roundtree were tagging him badly. But he just has that left hook. And Magomed Ankalaev, despite being a southpaw, which can alleviate the kicks, it's not going to take them away. The main thing is he leaves his side. He is horribly susceptible at left hook. He always keeps his hand down, and that left hook is going to be there for days, especially with how fast it is from Alex. He just whips it out, and he can absolutely knock out a big Ankh. So I'm going to go Alex Pereira to get it done with a late round KO, but I'm not going to be shocked or surprised if Magomed Ankalaev wins as well too. I just lean towards Pereira, hence why I like the odds. It's a 50-50. You pick who you think's going to win. Simple as that. So once again, that is going to be it for UFC 313. It has been your boy, Gomi. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below and how excited you are for this card. And I will also say, I really wish Dan Hooker was still on it. But oh well. Bye-bye.